Okay, so now that we have our user interface for uploading or sending the videos to index, we need to do validations. At the moment, we are allowing the user to submit the data to the server even if the data is empty, and we don't want to do that. We don't want the server to be reached. We don't want any action being sent to the um, upload endpoint if the data is empty. So Blazor actually has some classes to allow us avoid doing that. See that? Well, when I didn't put anything, it actually failed with bad request. And if I put that, it's probably going to send it to the server. So we are receiving invalid data too. I don't know if we can validate the format. We need to figure out if we are able to use custom validators. I'm not sure. Um, okay, so the Blazor validations actually take advantage of the usual system components annotations, so we can use the required. So in this upload video model, I went ahead and added the required data notation to the video URL and to the name. I also added dependency or dependency to this package system.componentModel.annotations. Then we need to go to our form and we need to use the edit form. We set the model to a model of the type we are going to use. So you see that here we have this variable named upload video model. We have to create a new instance of it, and then we can kind of go ahead at the well, we add the data annotations validator and we add the validation summary, and then we keep adding our UI. So now we are going to replace some of these components. Well, you need to have onValidSubmit equals the one we are going to call when we actually submit. So now our button is going to be moved. This one, we are going to remove it, and this button that we had is going to be turned in a submit button. And I believe we don't need the on click. Okay, so now this input is going to be input text. We remove the type. I believe we can add the class and the placeholder and all that. And we are going to use the bind value bind value equals this model dot name. So there we have the name. We are going to change this one to an input text too. I believe we don't need the type. We are going to bind the bind value. It's going to be bound to model dot video URL input checkbox. And now we are going to find the value to model dot send success email. I believe that's all we need. I'll remove this one. Okay, and I am going to remove these variables because we don't need it anymore, and we only need the ones from the model. We are going to change this code to use the values from the model itself. Okay. And I believe that's all we need to do. So if we run the application and we have no errors, if we hit the button, the submit button, it should not reach the server and it should just show us the validation messages. So we have here the name field is required and the video URL is required. So if I type something in there, now that we don't see that error, so let's see, hit upload, and let's see if that actually works now. So let's see what the model has. So we have as value the name and the video URL. We have the video URL goes here. So of course that's going to give us an error because the URL is not correctly formatted, and we get internal server error in there. But we already have a form validation using the usual system components data notations. So that's one of the easy ways to do validations. Blazor allows you to do it really easy. If you want to see more information about how to use validations, you can go to the Microsoft page, which is this one. I'll probably leave it in the description of the video so you can check more. You see that we have there a couple of other uh, elements. So we have input text area, input select, input number, input checkbox, and input date, and input date and input number. Those actually have data formatting validations. So I believe I haven't used them, but I think those actually give you there is a when there is an error, like a format error, they are supposed to show you a validation error. So let's see how that one works. I haven't tested myself. We added an input number and we bind the value to number. Let's see. Okay, it doesn't allow me to modify it, so that's great. Let's see. We also have the input date. So let's see. Private. Datetime offset. Another datetime offset. Current date. And let's see how that one works. So we see the date control in there, and you can select the actual date. So those are some of the things you could use for form validations in Blazor. I hope this video has been useful for you. Thank you very much. Remember to subscribe to the channel, share the videos, like them, and hit the notification bell so you get notified as soon as there are videos uploaded.